Look at you, hacker. A pathetic creature of meat and bone.
Hey, what's up? It's me, your boy, Joey, and I'd like to go over, just do a brief analysis of the game I just won against the guy from Azerbaijan. Uh, I don't think that I won through superior play. I mean, in the end, he made a blunder at just the wrong time, and that's what decided the game. And he was also having some time. I mean, he had more time than me at the end, but he disconnected for a couple of minutes, which I think affected his play as well. Um, yeah, like there was like a 3 minute period there where he was just disconnected, and it wanted us to claim the victory or a draw. I think if he had not come back, just claiming the draw is the more honorable thing to do. Honor. I mean, we still would have got some blood. He was almost 200 points higher than us. But I'd like to go over the game because I think that I played the opening wrong, and I'd like to take a look. So played the Scandinavian, and played the A5 Scandinavian. Like I said, I was watching that GM on. Chess24 has a YouTube channel, and they do banter blitzes where different GMs like Christoph Selecki and um, Jan Gustafsson is the one I watch the most, but also Anna Rudolph and this guy who's, let me see if I can. Yeah, GM Loic Van Welly. I'm probably getting his name wrong, but he's one that I hadn't watched before. But last night I started watching him, and he's very sardonic, which so it's really fun to watch. And he played the Scandinavian in one of the games that I was watching. I was starting to lean away from the Scandinavian because I was getting some bad games with it, and I don't think that it's like, I don't know. I know it's not a perfectly sound opening, but I also know that at the 800 online rating level, you don't need to be playing perfectly sound openings in order to win games. Like we're not playing zero inaccuracy chess here. We're playing club level at best, and I don't even think that. So, and you do get a lot of fun attacking positions. In this game, though, I was on my back heels the whole fucking time. So a5, or the queen to a5, which is more aggressive, I think. This is the proper response, I think, to the Scandinavian. Getting that ready, getting ready for this, taking up some of the center, taking this checking square away from the queen for any tricks. Develop my bishop. He develops his. I come back here because often in the Scandinavian, I like to castle queenside, and I don't mind. What happens exactly? I don't mind exactly this. Like, the rook's there. Eventually, I want my queen here. We're both pointed there. Usually, they castle kingside. That did not happen in this game. Castled queenside, which I was not expecting. Okay, so he lines up this reveal. Right now, he doesn't have any decent reveals. Like, the queen's threatened, but I can still go where I want. If he goes here, I could just fucking take it, right? Because it's unprotected. So I didn't need to bring my queen back right away, but I did. I was, yeah. Maybe I should have been developing more at this point because he does this, I do this, and now he makes this move in order to protect this pawn. He's not worried about a piece coming here. He is worried about his next move. He wants to do this. Or maybe not his next move, but he's thinking about doing this pretty quick. This is a weak pawn. It's protected by this pawn, but this, if the pawn is still here, you know, there might be some tricks down the line with, you know, forcing the trade of rooks and winning a pawn there. So it's a good move. I bring my knight out, and here I'm in a bit of trouble already. I want to, and probably should have done this first. Yeah, because this knight becomes really difficult for me to develop in this game, and so I should have developed it before castling. He doesn't really have a threat here. Like even here, he can't win this pawn because he's only got, yeah. So, I mean, he can. No, he doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't really have anything here. All of it winds up protecting that spot. I did not do that though. I just castled right away. I figured get to safety as quick as possible was the smartest idea. But then he gets this move in, and it's a frustrating move. I kind of wanted to do this and just, but like that hangs, and also after some trades, this pawn is unprotected, and this becomes a much weaker structure. These pawns, right now, this is okay. Like this is weak, this back one, but really hard for him to get at. So he does this, and after some thought, I'm happy if he wants to, like if we do this, and he puts a pawn there, I'm happy. Like then I am doing this. I'm always happy to take the queens off the board. It makes for a simpler game, and the threat isn't checkmate. It's just playing smart moves, protecting your pawns, you know, looking for tactics, and that I feel like I excel there. You get to an end game more often. I like the end game. I enjoy playing it. He's so much more better developed than me right now, and here I am trading. I can't get at this, obviously. I want to do this and then this, but this move comes so quick, and then what do, right? I guess I had this move there, threatening the queen briefly, but yeah, then where do I go? Here? He takes, opens up my queen, and you know, it's not so easy. It's not so easy. I definitely don't want to put my knight here. I mean, unless then I'm taking an extra move to get out. What I wanted to do, but I made a mouse slip, was I wanted to put my bishop here. I think that would have been a good move. It winds up being useful where I accidentally drop it, which is right here. I was like looking at it, and then I pull it back and I dropped it here, and then I spent like a minute of, and then he made a move without me noticing, and then I spent a minute of my time. Yeah, then he did this almost right away, and then I'm still looking like, where should I put my bishop? Where should I put my bishop? And he gets in this extra move, but whatever. I fucked up. You got to live with it. At this point, I considered doing this, but this, and then he gets this with check. He gets so, yeah, he wins a pawn. My king's gets kind of shitty. I did not want to leave that pawn hanging at all, so this push is never really on the table. Not until it comes with that threat on the knight later on. Where are we? So put my bishop here, he comes here, and I want to put my king to safety, just in case this pawn ever does come under fire, and to protect this pawn for now. His bishop might get on this diagonal. Though it's going to be difficult to create a queen-bishop battery on this diagonal, I think. Well, 2 moves. But then I always have this, right? This is just such a frustrating piece to try and develop. I want to connect my rooks. This bishop is in my knight's way. I put it on the one square that my knight could have gone to without getting harassed immediately. I mean, I could put my knight here, and then this move prevents me from going here, but if he ever makes this push, I do get in here, so the knight can stay there, but like, and I eventually have to do that to protect this square. These are all things that are going through my head at this point. And actually, I think this was the stage at which, is it telling me how many? He makes that move. I do that. Yeah, I think this is the stage at which, yeah, he has 10 minutes here on that move, and then his next move isn't until when he has 6 minutes left. So I had a lot of time here where I was thinking, because he was disconnected. He was disconnected, and I had a lot of time to think. And I didn't fucking come up with very much, I'll tell you that. There, that. Yeah. Here, I think maybe taking this rook would have been good for him, right? Like, because then I have to take back like this, and he gets this in, or even, you know, he takes here. He takes here. I take back with the queen, I guess. Brings the rook over. Queen comes back. Actually, maybe I would have taken with the bishop, and then I could bring my knight here and bring my knight here. That might not have been so bad, actually. That frees this rook up. I do like the way things worked out in the game, though, just in terms of his... So now I go here because I see he has this move, which will attack this point here. And I want to be able to protect it. And if he does this and then this, then, you know, I get in here threatening that bishop, which is a strong attacking piece of his. I mean, he can take here, but like I said, it's not a real fork. Or like I said in the video, it's not a real fork because I can take with check, and then I can, I don't know, move my rook. Yeah, I'm not unhappy with that. That's a lot of arrows. I'm drawing a lot of arrows this morning, but this was a complicated game. Now I'm happy. My rooks are connected. It's this knight. A knight on the rim is dim, but I mean, he's serving a purpose anyway, right? He's keeping this guy from jumping here and forking these guys. He does that. I'm letting him get an awful strong, you know, force of pawns on the oh, you know what? I wonder when he does. Oh. We'll have to look. We'll have to look. But when he takes his rook, because he takes his rook later on, he brings this rook down here. And when he does that, I wonder if I had this move, because this rook is hanging. I bet you I missed that move. Not right now, but when the queen's not on it and when the rook is not protecting the other rook. So here I do this. I threaten this knight, and I'm not sure what's a better move. Whether he should have gone like this, because that would mess my pawn structure up a fair amount. I take here, he takes here, I take here. This pawn, I mean, I got a lot of targets, is what I'm saying, you know? He comes here. You know? Could have gone a different way. It's not what he does, though. He brings his rook in, or his knight in. Still threatening this fork. I'm still protecting it, and now he doesn't have a way to kick me. I still have this idea. And now it works even if the queen's still here. So I bring my queen down to protect this point because now he's also attacking. This knight is also attacking this point. He brings his queen. I bring my rook up. And right here, I do have that tactic. I can go like that. I could have gone like that. And what does he do? Can't take. I'm threatening just to take this. Yeah, this game could have gone a completely different way. I'm threatening to take the bishop. I mean, not for free, but like later when we look at the computer analysis, we definitely have to. So that's move 20, because I think that's a move. I think that is a move I missed, because this knight's just hanging. It's just hanging there. Comes with check. I think he missed that. I mean, we both missed it. I was so concerned about his attack on my king that I was not looking for tactics on this side of the board. I double up. He does this. I really don't like the idea of any sacrifices here, because then he gets a pretty strong attack. His queen comes in here next. I don't think that I have a defense against that. Like, I think that that's too strong. Like, if I do something, like, let's just do a nothing move. Like, check. I come here. Yeah, that's mate. So I definitely was right to be scared about that. So I pushed my pawn, and he comes to start coming down with this attack, and yeah, in the game I said that I underestimated it, but I think that I played this part pretty well. I got rid of this knight, got rid of this threat here, and I was fairly confident that I could run away after, yeah. So I come up here to protect this pawn. He takes, I take back, he gets his queen in, but, you know, my king's coming here, and there's a couple of different ways this could have gone. But adding my king as a defender, so there's two defenders here, so he can't, like, do this, right? Just loses a rook. Same if he takes first with the queen. He goes like this, I do this. This doesn't work because I just take the queen, right? This isn't checking me. You know, maybe he tried, no, he can't even do that. Yeah, so at this point, that's not the actual move that he made, is it? It is. Okay. So he does that. I block. He takes. I take. This doesn't work now because of this, although that would at least allow him to get this into play. He can never bring, at this point, he can never bring his rook here, right? Because that's just checkmate right away. I'm doubled up. He is not. So this rook is out of play. I like that. That stays a feature of the game and makes this attack a little weaker, I think, right? Because he has one fewer piece to attack than I have defending. And trading things off, I'm happy. I'm happy with that. I don't think this was a good move. It weakens his king. It allows for this forced trade. You know, because well, he actually can't go anywhere. I guess he can go like this, but either way, I'm getting to trade this rook off. Yeah, he takes, I take. And then he does this. And this is a point where I think I made a mistake. I think I could have just taken here. And we'll look later with the computer, but so what's his threat, right? I'm just a piece up. He goes like this. I take. If he pushes, I simply take here, and I'm better. That's all there is to it. I'm just better. So I guess the threat is what happens if he does this. But I do this. I'm in time to stop him from queening. I don't think that pawn is fast enough. Like maybe, like does he come here to prevent me from? If he makes some sort of rook move protecting one of the pawns, then I'm in time to do this. This doesn't work because the rook's on it. Just taking this bishop is, yeah. I did not see it. It is not that I decided that this was too threatening. I was like, oh, he took here. What am I going to do about that? What am I going to do about that? And I'm like, I forgot that bishop was just hanging. I could have just took it. That would have been game over. Game over right then. But I didn't do it. I took like this, and I actually think that might have been a mistake. I think it might have been stronger to take like this. Yeah. I mean, any push, like, he still has to protect his bishop, right? So he can't get that push in yet. Say he goes here to protect this pawn. I start bringing my king in. You know, it's hard for him to push this. You know, I can go my next. Oh, he comes over to get behind it. Maybe this actually doesn't turn out so well for me. Comes over to get behind it, and then what do I do? Do I get in front of it? Pushes. Where's this knight gonna go? Here? He comes here. At least I'm on a light square. But this knight's got a few. Then he can, come in here. Yeah. He can't win this because the knight's protecting it for right now, but it's yeah, it's not the best. It's not the best. Okay. So, what actually happened? He takes, I take back. He comes over here to protect there. I reinforce my pawns, which I think maybe just gives him a faster target to get to. But yeah, I just didn't want him to. I'm not sure. I think this is a good move. It seemed good. Then he comes here. And I bring my king in. But I wonder if just taking here is the strongest right now. You know? Maybe he can win a pawn. Well, can win a few pawns. Yeah, I take this. And he takes, well, he's still got to protect his bishop. It brings his bishop back somewhere. Then I bring this up and it's protected. And then he does this. Yeah, it's not great. It's not great. push. Keep it on a light square. And then what? So you start going after. This just helps me because I want to be able to attack this pawn. It's a few jumps away. Quite a few jumps away. Yeah. But this is how we played it. Played it like this. Does that. And I figured I could get in front of it. He can't queen yet, so he has to go like this, maybe, and then this. You know, he can start trying to pick up pawns. I can push. Go there. It's still a game here. I mean I can walk my king over and get this. It's on a dark square, which is a bit of a bitch, but this is where he makes his blunder. I come down here to get in front, and he did not see this move. Okay, let's see if I mean, then he resigns. Let's see if first he asked for a take back, then he resigned. Let's see if we can get let's see what the fucking computer says. Actually, I would not be surprised if the computer does not say that I'm immediately winning here. I would also not be surprised if the computer thinks I should take the bishop instead of the rook. I would not be surprised by that at all. If he hadn't resigned, I may have taken the bishop. But anyway, okay, let's put on computer analysis. Let's go back to the first move. Let's turn on Stockfish. And let's turn on the analysis. And let's see where we fucked up. Yeah, Stockfish doesn't like the Scandinavian. It gives like almost half a pawn advantage as soon as I play it. That's fine. That's fine. It's a half a pawn. This is all standard opening, like, theory. It didn't like that move. It jumps a ton. Does it go back down when he takes? Yeah, it does. Okay, so there was some reason that this move is bad. And what does it want them to do? B4. Well, no, that's not it. B is over here. Oh, B4. Threaten the queen right away. Take. I assume the rook comes here. No, knight G to E2. And this is an advantage for white, even though I've just grabbed that pawn. It's a pawn and a half. Okay. Computers. Okay. We're just looking for missed tactics, I think, at this point. Goes there. I come back here. White's got an advantage through all of this. Computers don't like the Scandinavian. It's not sound. I'm not a computer, though, and my opponent is not a computer, obviously, and so I think the Scandinavian is not so bad. I still am trying to learn the French. I'm looking for giant jumps in in the point value here. Like there's a jump of almost a pawn. Thinks I should not have castled here. It thinks I should, yeah, it thinks I should do knight g to f6, developing. Yeah, I thought this too when we were looking through it, that I got to focus on my development, because that knight becomes such a liability. Not a liability, but just like it just sits on that back rank doing nothing for so long. I mean, this doesn't make me better or anything, but it's I mean, it makes me better than I was. Okay, so yeah, its computer thinks taking is the best move. There we go. That leads us here. This pawn. This pawn was more dangerous than I gave it credit for. Not dangerous, but limiting. Really limiting. Like, especially when he backs it up. Didn't like that move. Would it have liked the move that I was considering? Nope. Doesn't like that move either. Okay, so. Yeah. F4. That's the computer's best move. King b8. Is that what the computer wants me to do? The computer wants me to go knight h6 out right away. But I do not see that is necessary yet, and I'm a little worried about the g-pawn push. So I move my king into a little safer spot. It says he's got a pawn advantage at this point, even though we're materially even. I assume it's his attack. Yeah, that knight getting in there. Then I do this, which the computer does like. And the computer doesn't mind this move. I was worried about that. I was worried that there was some kind of trick I missed here, like some en passant thing or some push that led to me being in a worse position. Actually, maybe there is. E takes f6. G takes f6. Queen to c4. Yeah. Rook to d5 already. I like this better than what happened in the game, actually, so if they had done that, I would have been happy. Sorts my pawns out. Now the computer thinks we're even, though. It thinks I should take it. Thinks I should take him right away. Bishop takes g5. F takes g5, and then knight down, threatening this pawn right away. Kind of deflates his attack a little. Yeah. I come back here, it still thinks we're even. Doesn't like this move by the computer. Likes this. Now it says we're dead even. Now it says I have an advantage. Why? Why? Bishop takes g5. Is it looking at the tactic that I was talking about? Okay, bishop takes g5. This is the line the computer gives. F takes g5. Yeah, knight takes g4. And winning a pawn. And then it wants rook to b3. Where's b3? Yeah, then it wants black to continue their attack, but and things continue sort of the same as normal here. Queen to f1. Where's f1? Once, yeah, to come back here, protect this rook, so this is no longer a thing. And then, yeah, just take this bishop off the board. Rook takes e3. I mean, that's a very different from what happened, because I missed that knight tactic. The computer sees it though. that takes the knight tactic off the table, and so we're back to just dead even. Push. We're still pretty even. The computer doesn't think this is a winning attack either. So now I take him off the board, bring him back. The computer thinks this is even. Queen to here. King to c7, thinks it's the best move. Rook to a3. It does want him to double up. And now it gives me the advantage. With the queens off the board, I do think that this is. He's got some weaknesses. And he has a hard time with this guy. Okay, so that's a big jump. Rook takes e5. Oh, it just wants me to take the pawn. What? Oh, because it's protected by the rook. Okay, I was like, it wants to run with the king. It's like, why wouldn't you want to protect this? But because it's already protected. That makes sense. Yeah, it likes my move. Okay, take, and then yeah, it says -4 here, and it just thinks that taking this is winning, and I missed it. I just completely missed it. I was too focused on these pawns. Yeah. Yeah, that was a blunder by my opponent. A blunder. I take, and I wonder, is this any better? No, that's white's advantage. So I took the right way. I think this is an advantage for me. It wants me to take the pawn right away. Pardon me. Doesn't care much for me bringing my king in. It thinks I should take the pawn. It just wants me to take this pawn, even though this pawn hangs on, like, bishop at f4. But then there's knight f3 threatening him, not protecting this though. And it wants to go rook to d1 and just trade rooks. I mean, I don't think that's like, this seems winning for me. I mean, it says it's not winning, but I'd be happy playing this endgame. Yeah, I'd start bringing my king. Anyway, that's not what happened. It's not what happened. Okay. Bring my king in. Doesn't like that. It says we're dead even now. White has an advantage now that I've taken. Now I take the pawn. It says white still has an advantage. It says dead even now. Still dead even. And then there's the blunder. The blunder, -7, -8. And yeah, okay. So I think his best move is king d1. And then that's weird. Why would you want... Why is that the best move? Is there some kind of combination I'm missing? Or trick? Like, say the king goes here. Knight takes rook. Oh yeah, doesn't like that at all. There's no way to protect the keep this. These somebody's going to promote. Okay. So I guess king d1 is to protect the rook. But then I'm taking this with check. And then it wants king c2 back here. Rook g8. This pawn's now protected. Yeah. And I can start pushing and also jump in here with this knight, pick this pawn up, and one of these two guys is going to turn into a queen. It says -10, but I think it's pretty... Yeah. I did suspect that it would want me to take the bishop, although I didn't see that he could actually... Like, here of course it makes sense to take the bishop because this is just an exchange. That's not so great. I mean, it's still winning. It still says -6.7, but yeah, it actually is still winning because I come here. The only way you can protect that pawn is this, and then, you know, I just start. I can march my king over, and you know he's gonna have to give this bishop up for one of these. This rook takes this. Yeah. As soon as this bishop can't be tied to this pawn forever, right? Like, otherwise, I have all of these pawns. This. Yeah, it actually, after thinking for a while, evaluates this to the same as if I had taken the bishop. I think this is smarter. That is smarter. How do I get my queen in? Or my king in now? Yeah, I don't. My rook does have some leeway, right? King d7. Yeah. King f2. Assume this. King g3. Yeah. And then this. And then king h4. Yeah, and then oh, king g6. I'm just getting in. I could protect that. What does he do? b3? f4. Bishop takes f4. Wow, okay. I thought I was going to have to trade the rook off and then get these pawns up, but this is going to be a winning. This is a winning position for sure. Yeah, so that was a blunder. That was a blunder on his part. But before the blunder, it says we're even. The line it sees is this. Nope, that's not what it sees. I come back. It wants bishop to g5. Threatening my rook. So that I can't do the fork right away. Yeah, rook g8. Rook takes e5. Rook takes g7. And it says this is even. He gets a piece up on me, but these pawns are so strong that he's gonna have to give up the bishop for one of them. Huh. That was an interesting game. I enjoyed it. I'm glad that I didn't just when he disconnected. I'm glad I didn't just claim the draw or the victory or whatever and played it on through. 1990. I hope that you enjoyed this analysis video or got something out of it. I think I did. I saw some tactics that I missed, and yeah, and I think sometimes I focus on castling too quick. I need to make sure that I can get all of my pieces developed before I castle, so that he can't limit them. I think that's a mistake that I made, was castling before when I still had 2 pieces undeveloped that he could limit with just that 1 pawn. I think I would have had a better game if I'd brought my knight out. I hope that everybody's having a good day.